We all have thought about what it would be like to be wealthy, to not have to worry about any bills, to afford the things we've always wanted, or maybe even to retire early. Now, what if I told you that you could achieve all this even on a low salary? Yes, my friend, it's not only possible, but people just like you are doing it every day. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to reveal the secrets of becoming wealthy on a low salary. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on our next videos. First off, there's some myths to debunk. You know, when it comes to wealth creation, there are a lot of misconceptions floating around. One of the most common ones? That a high salary is the only path to wealth. But let's pause for a moment and think about it. Is that really the case? Imagine two individuals. Let's call them Alex and Bailey. Alex earns a high salary but spends extravagantly, living paycheck to paycheck. Bailey, on the other hand, earns a modest salary but is careful with spending and regularly saves and invests money. Over time, who do you think will accumulate more wealth? Yep, you guessed it right, it's Bailey. This brings us to another myth, that saving money isn't worth it if you're not saving a lot. The reality is, every little bit counts, my friend. Think of saving money as planting seeds. Even if you start with a single seed or a small amount of money, with time and patience, it can grow into a large tree or a substantial amount of wealth. There's another common misconception, is that investing is only for the rich. But in reality, anyone can start investing, regardless of their income level. In fact, thanks to the magic of compound interest, starting small and early can lead to significant wealth over time. Now that we've busted some myths, let's talk about what wealth really means. I know that this question might seem simple at first glance, but it's actually quite complex. You see, wealth isn't just about having a lot of money in your bank account. Sure, that's part of it, but there's so much more to it. Wealth is about financial freedom. It's about having the resources to live comfortably without constantly worrying about money. Being able to afford the things that are important to you, whether that's a home, education for your kids, travel, or even just a nice meal out every now and then. As Chris Rock once said, wealth is not about having a lot of money, it's about having a lot of options. So, wealth gives you options. It allows you to make choices that can improve your quality of life. It gives you the freedom to pursue your passions, to take risks, and to spend your time the way you want to. And you can achieve it, even on a low salary. But to do all that, you need financial literacy. You need to understand how money works. So we've just scratched the surface of understanding wealth. But how do we actually build it, especially on a low salary? There are several practical steps that you have to follow. The first one is budgeting. This is your financial blueprint. It's about understanding where your money comes from and where it goes. Start by tracking your income and expenses. Write down everything you spend money on, no matter how small. This will give you a clear picture of your spending habits. Then, create a budget that reflects your financial goals. Allocate funds for necessities like rent and groceries, but also for savings and investments. And remember, it's a living document that should be adjusted as your circumstances change, not a one-time thing. Moving on, start saving. No matter how small, regular savings can accumulate over time. Start by setting aside a small portion of your income each month. It could be as little as 1% or as much as you can afford. Well, the key is consistency. Over time, these small amounts will add up. And don't be discouraged if progress seems slow. Wealth building takes time. It's not about getting rich quick, but about consistent and smart decisions over a long period. Be patient and stay the course. As Warren Buffett puts it, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Now, the next step is investing, where the magic happens. It can help your money grow exponentially over time thanks to the power of compound interest. If you don't know where to start, well, there are many investment options out there. from stocks and bonds to real estate and mutual funds. First, do your research and choose the ones that align with your financial goals and risk tolerance. If you're new to investing, we suggest you watch our video on 10 assets that can make you wealthy. Moving on, try side hustles. You know, in today's digital age, there are countless opportunities to earn extra income outside of your regular job. Just explore your passions and skills. Maybe you're good at graphic design, or maybe you love baking. Why not turn these passions into a side hustle? Not only will you earn extra income, but you'll also enjoy what you're doing. And who knows, your side hustle might just become your main hustle. Next up, don't forget about continuous learning. The world is always evolving. Make it a habit to continuously educate yourself about personal finance and investment strategies. Read books, listen to podcasts, attend webinars, or even consider taking a course. The more you know, the better decisions you'll make. While doing this, also build relationships with successful and knowledgeable people. They can open up opportunities and provide valuable advice. Attend events or join online communities. And if you're still skeptical, don't worry. We've got some real-life success stories. These are individuals who, despite not having high salaries, have managed to build substantial wealth. Our first story is about a man named Grant Cardone. He was just an average guy who, at one point, had only $2.26 in his bank account. But within 5 years, he managed to turn that $2.26 into $1 million. How did he do it? He broke down all his money goals into daily goals and deposited money every day into his investment accounts. So, despite not having a high salary, Grant was able to build wealth through consistent saving and investing. Moving on, the individual in the next story is anonymous, so let's call him John. He was a school teacher with a modest income. But despite his low salary, John managed to accumulate a net worth of $2.3 million. He did this by carefully managing his finances, saving regularly, and investing wisely. He also paid extra on his mortgage, which allowed him to pay off his house early and save thousands in interest. Pure genius. Finally, we have another story of Mary. She was a nurse, another profession not typically associated with high salaries. But like John, Mary managed to build substantial wealth on her modest income. She did this by same strategies, living within her means, saving regularly, and investing her savings. All these stories show that building wealth on a low salary is not only possible, but it's been done by many people. You might be inspired by these stories. However, the road to wealth is not without its pitfalls. Next up, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when trying to build wealth and how to avoid them. The first one I see most of the time is living beyond your means. This is literally a surefire way to financial ruin. Always spend less than you earn. Yes, it's tempting to splurge on the latest gadgets or luxury items, especially when you see others doing it, but you need to remind yourself that wealth is not about outward appearances, but about financial stability and freedom. So, try your best to resist the urge to keep up with the Joneses and focus on your financial goals instead. The next one is not saving and ignoring investing. Remember what we said earlier in the video? Every little bit counts. No matter how small the amount is, start saving and investing today. Many people put off saving and investing because they think they don't have enough money. But thanks to the power of compound interest, even small amounts can grow significantly over time. So, my friend, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Moving on, don't ignore financial education. Knowledge is power. The more you learn about finance, the better equipped you'll be to make smart financial decisions. Many people ignore financial education because they think it's too complicated or boring. But there are plenty of resources out there that make learning about finance fun and accessible. So make it a habit to continuously educate yourself about personal finance and investment strategies. There's another mistake people make, and it's so common nowadays as everyone wants to become wealthy overnight. They fall for get-rich-quick schemes. Building wealth takes time. Have patience. Beware of anyone or anything promising quick and easy wealth. More often than not, these are scams that will leave you poorer, not richer. Next up is not planning for the future. I know it's easy to focus on the here and now and forget about the future. But as we said, wealth building is a long-term game. So, it's important to plan for the future, including retirement. The earlier you start planning, the better off you'll be in the long run. There's another mistake I see is not having an emergency fund, which is probably the most dangerous mistake. Life is unpredictable. Having an emergency fund can provide a financial safety net for unexpected expenses, such as car repairs or medical bills. Without one, you may have to rely on credit cards or loans, which can lead to high-interest debt. And everyone knows high-interest debt is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth. If you're dealing with this, focus on paying it off as quickly as possible. Consider strategies like the debt snowball or debt avalanche methods. Remember, the less money you're paying in interest, the more you'll have to save and invest. Building wealth on a low salary is not a myth, but a reality that many have achieved, and you can too. If you enjoyed the info in this video, we'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Do you have any personal tips or strategies for building wealth on a low salary? Drop your comments below. And before you go, don't forget to check out our video on 7 bad money habits keeping you from becoming wealthy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.